What a privilege to be able to speak to you today about brand marketing. We have a couple of really awesome cases coming along. Apparently, brand marketing and getting messages to stick is tough. It's really tough. But sometimes we get it right, and it does stick. In fact, I want to ask you guys to raise a hand. Do you have that one favorite commercial that you sort of remember all through the years that just resonated with you? You're like, no, that literally never happened to me. Okay, we have a few bold hands in the air. I'm going to show you a recent favorite of mine. And it was published just, I think, a month and a half ago. And it's a flirt with a concept that was aired, believe it or not, in '99, 21 years ago. Tells us something about how old we are. Let's have a look.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Wishing I was watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you?
Like you, wishing I was watching the game, having a bud.
True. True.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Yo, where's D-Unit?
What's up?
It's a smart world. Don't be stupid about how you get around tonight.
That was close.
True. True.
I love how the vacuum cleaner just like slowly creeps from underneath the sofa again. Another quick question for you guys. Have you ever experienced creatives not being ready in time? It happens, doesn't it? So not only do we have to have a kick-ass idea, preferably larger than life, ready for the Super Bowl, but we also need to have a very well-oiled machinery in order to produce fast, well, and in time. But let's zoom out for a second and see, let's try to place brand marketing in its context, in a wider scheme. So you're probably familiar with this picture. It's mock-up data from research done by Binet and Field. And it shows really the buildup of different kinds of messaging. So you'll have the emotional priming, the job of brand marketing, winning the hearts and the minds and the laughs, and creating preference over time, right? And then the more tactical, rational messaging with performance marketing. And ideally, obviously, you want them to work in sync, right? And continuing and build a continuous lift of baseline and ultimately ensuring long-term profitability and value build-up for your company. So this is how it should work. And we saw the 75% of brands that nobody would miss if they went away, right? So what are the other 26 doing that the others are not? At Google, we have both the luxury and privilege to work with the majority of brands out there. And we have identified a couple of areas, 4 to be exact, that really sets apart those nailing their brand marketing very well. This is a pinwheel with 4 different wings, but you can equally look upon it as a car with 4 wheels. We are, we create, we speak, and we know. So if one wheel is sliding, although the other 3 are moving along beautifully and powering up, the whole vehicle will be impacted, obviously. And you will start experience hiccups in your brand marketing, like creatives not being ready in time, or even more severe symptoms like nobody really noticing your message or your brand. And equally, if done right, this can constitute a fantastic brand engine machinery for your brand and allowing your company to, with time, build up incredible value. So let's see and start at the very beginning, in the blue part. And we really see that companies nailing their brand marketing, they have started with a why, with a big why from all of its angles. Why are we here? What is our role in this world and how do we make it better? And how do our products help everyday people in their lives? So the purpose-driven brand. And regardless if you're Disney creating the magic, or Klarna with smooth payments, or the local transportation company here in Stockholm, AirMe, delivering groceries from the shop, the stuff you need every day, stuff you order from the grocery, you need to have this in place. And it needs to be as strong for it to be able to work as a North Star in your brand marketing. So, lastly, I want to mention the importance of setting proper upper funnel KPIs. And my colleague, Alicia, will speak of this a little later. But I'll give you a quote that I love from her. I hope I get this right. Good KPIs have the potential of a good reorg, but without the pain from a bad one. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So set strong upper funnel KPIs and spread them to every fiber of your organization. Now to the juicy part, to the red part. This is now where you create your expression for your brand. And indeed, it needs to be on brand. Klarna's campaign, I'm referencing Klarna again, the Snoop campaign, if you saw it, or Lady Gaga, was very on brand, and grand for that matter. But we tend to underestimate very often the force it takes to really pull through. So do not underestimate that. This campaign might have cost $1 or $2. Let's ask Chris from Klarna when he comes up on stage. Maybe he'll answer, maybe he won't. But grand ideas obviously fit in all budget sizes, and this is another really nice idea. It's actually firefighters from southern Sweden collecting money for kids' cancer research by doing a firefighter calendar. Don't worry, it's family safe, clothes on. The original idea is from Australia with firefighters, but they managed to get a tremendous amount of publicity and raise a lot of money for this research. So in all budget sizes, obviously. When it comes to productivity, to avoid hiccups, this is really about creating the best and most well-oiled machinery for your brand as possible. Because if you're a global company, you need to be able to take on tens and hundreds of work streams, creating assets at the same time. And what you really need to do here is find best benchmarks and implement them. So it's whether or not it's how you brief your agency in a consistent way, or how you quality check along the creation process, so no surprises when it's launch date. You need to continuously set good processes. Processes is an ugly word when you speak of creation, but they will enable you to materialize your great ideas, I promise you. Creatives do have the better part of impact on return on investment for your campaigns, up to 80%, and only the very lesser share is from the channel through which you communicate. And speaking of benchmarks and good story arcs, I wanted to give you this example of a French retailer. It's actually the equivalent brand of Poulon og Pyret, if you know it. And I just want to show you this because it was, I think it was launched last year, and we get slingshotted in a way that I just love into this young man's day. Let's take a look.
Bam bam, mon ça se passe, j'ai sur mon lit à bouffer sa langue en buvant grand mon whisky. Quant à moi, peu dormi, vide et bris, mais j'ai dû dormir dans la gouttière où j'ai eu un flash. En quatre couleurs, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, moi, ça plane pour moi. Ça plane pour. Allez hop, t'occupe, t'inquiète, touche pas ma planète. It's not today que le ciel me tombera sur la tête. You are the king of the divan, qu'elle me dit en passant. I am the
I want to have my own monster like that, playing drums. I love it. So now that you've created your piece of art, your masterpiece, it's time to speak to the world about it, right? So this is a very executional part of your campaign. Again, this is not rocket science. You're all seasoned marketers, but this is giving attention to all of the details, right? To have a perfect brand engine. So when we speak of coordination, we mean that you need to know exactly where the center of gravity is in your campaign. Where does it all start? And then coordinate paid, owned, and earned media fiercely according to that. Consolidation is a dear topic to us at Google. It's about reaching your audiences across channels, comparing when you buy data, doing it in a consolidated way. We have our own tech for it, GMP. God forbid there are other systems out there. But the important is that you try your best to automate and consolidate your actions, because only then can you come to the point that Nicholas made to freeing up time for you guys to come up with even smarter things next time. The last part of the framework is the green part. And this is why when you dive into data and the right data. So ask yourselves, are you obsessive enough about measurements? And you go, yeah, we look at so much data every day in our companies, I can hardly see the forest from the trees, as we say in good Swedish. That is not measurement. That is swimming around in data and still not being able to tell, was my campaign successful or not, and what made it so. So this ties back obviously to the blue part, right? Setting the right KPIs and finding the tools or the proxies to be able to track back and measure them, and the metrics underneath that explains more. Because only then can you do great analysis and know what did we do well, what can we change until next time. And the third step, with great measurement and data, good analysis in place, it's only then you get to understand your consumers better, your buyers. You know what I like, you know what people like me like, and then you can deliberately grow and grow and grow your consumer base. So, sprung out of observing companies that really aced their brand marketing, our wish is for this to act like a tool, a map, a guidance, to get all these 4 areas right. So please continue to tell great and grand stories. God knows we all need them in our lives. And make it your duty to create the best brand engine the world has ever seen for your brand. We love to be part of that journey. Thank you.